What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV. This is your post-mortem. Tottenham 1, Aston Villa 2. The home woes continue for Tottenham Hotspur. Obviously, we weren't in the studio or at the game yesterday. Happy days, to be honest, because can't tell you this bloody more losses at home. It's just never ending. I think it's 3 wins in our last 18 home games. That's just mad, isn't it? I've never known that at Tottenham. Like
1 in 4 this season.
It's just crazy. 3 out of our last 18. Like
shocking.
This has got to be our worst run ever at home in the Premier League era. Like, have we ever had worse?
Not that I can remember. Maybe, I don't know, in the 90s. I don't know.
Even then, I don't think it was this bad. At home. But anyway, maybe that
must be up there.
Yeah. But look, we'll get into all that in just a minute. I want to welcome everyone to this stream. Everyone smash that like button, smash that subscribe button if you're new around here. We're going to start off with a Tottenham update, and we're going to give you some injury news regarding Romero up first. So obviously Romero pulled out in the warm-up yesterday. We all saw he was part of the starting lineup. And then Kevin Danso started the game. So what Frank said was that it's a minor abductor injury. He felt a little bit in the past few days. We're expecting him to be fine, but he wasn't. I don't think it's too big. And I think it was Van der Ven or someone else.
Van der Ven.
Yeah, did an interview after the game saying, we always knew he was a doubt all week, which, is not great to hear, but hopefully these words are true and it's not too big and he'll be able to play midweek because Thomas Frank said straight after the game he doesn't know. Hopefully he knows more by now.
Doesn't sound too good, to be honest. He said he actually couldn't confirm how long he'll be out for. So let's hope it's not serious. I think he's such a massive miss, Romero, when he's not on the pitch. And I think considering as well, when we're playing the likes of Bentancur, Paulinho together, they obviously offer very little in terms of ball progression, and that's obviously a big problem for us. So when you're missing Romero on top of that, it's a major problem. And we've still Bodo away when he wasn't playing, how big of a miss he was. I wonder if he's been struggling with something since then, because he didn't make that trip, did he? As a precaution. He then played on the weekend for Spurs at Leeds, and then obviously gone to international duty. But I wonder if there's some sort of problem he's nursing.
And he didn't play the second game for Argentina.
Yeah, exactly. So I wonder if there's a problem he's nursing at the moment. And
well, there clearly has been. Yeah. There clearly has been because as Van der Ven said, he's been a doubt all week. So I wonder how long that actually has been. But look. We just got to hope and pray that he's back sooner rather than later, because like you said, so instrumental to our play. As much as I thought Kevin Danso did an all right job yesterday, made some really good challenges, but he just doesn't offer the same ball progression or anywhere near close to the same ball progression as someone like Romero does. And yeah, we missed him yesterday. That's the honest truth.
Are we guilty of rushing him back if he was a doubt of the weekend?
I don't know. I mean, Argentina played him as well.
But he didn't play the second game.
No. But he missed the game for us as well.
He missed the game for us, yeah, but he was set to play. He pulled up in the warm-up.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the situation is. We need to know more information, but, Argentina...
By the info we have, he was a doubt this weekend.
Yeah.
He then, Frank kind of implied we thought he was going to be okay, but he ended up wasn't. He pulled up in the warm-up. So, yeah. I mean, it's not great reading, is it?
No, it's not, because our captain's out injured and we need him back as soon as possible. But it can't have been that much of a big injury if Argentina are playing him and Spurs are playing him. So if we're guilty of it, then so are Argentina. And I think Argentina's game was just a friendly as well, which makes it even worse. But we just need him back. We need him back, desperately. If
he's out for any sustained period of time, though, we're in big trouble.
Massively. Yeah, I agree with that. But we just got to hope and pray that he's going to be back. We need him for sure for the game on the weekend away at Everton. So it is what it is. Obviously, Frank does the press conference tomorrow for the Monaco game, so we'll hear more information about that then. In terms of Destiny Udogie, he says that Destiny Udogie's injury is nothing major, according to Thomas Frank. He suffered a minor irritation in his knee. And again, another player who I thought that we really missed yesterday, because I thought Jed Spence, again, like did a good job defensively for the team yesterday. But in terms of going forward and hurting the opposition and also link-up play with Udogie on that side, I thought that was missing from the game, and Destiny Udogie has provided that.
Yeah, I just think we look a completely different kind of attacking threat when Udogie's on the pitch. And I think that's what we've seen so far this season. I think down that left-hand side, when Udogie's not there, we're nowhere near as threatening and we don't get in behind as much. And it's also got to be a bit of a worry when it comes to Udogie. He's been left out completely on the weekend because of an irritation in his knee. The beginning of the season, obviously he's had pre-season, then missed the first few games due to an injury. Last season, he had a few injury problems as well. Had a big 3-month injury in January.
Yeah.
So I think his first season he had some injury problems as well. So he's actually not got a great injury record now, does he, Udogie?
No,
and
not at all.
I really hope this irritation in his knee is nothing serious. But when it comes to the knee, and we've had knee problems before, that's what kept him out at the beginning of the season. You've got to be extra careful with it. So you can't take any risk with a knee. So they've got to be super careful, because if he had any sort of recurring injury there, then and he's out for a sustained period of time, he's such a big player for us. I think he's become already this season, when he's been on the pitch, a massive player for us.
Yeah.
I think he kind of needs to be on the left-hand side, especially against Villa, a Villa team who are very narrow. I think he would have been really important in yesterday's game. Unfortunately, he didn't make it, but his injury problems are starting to be a worry.
Yeah, and look, it's not just him. We've got such important players that have got massive injury worries. I know Van de Ven stayed fit so far this season, but we know his problems over the last couple of years with the hamstrings. Romero, he's injured now, and he's had his injury problems over the past couple of years. Destiny Udogie seems to have non-stop injuries. I mean, you've got that's 3 out of our preferred back 4. It's not great.
And Vicario will go into him later, but yeah, not injury problem, but anyway,
just problem.
Yeah, just problems. Yeah, it's not good news, and it goes to show the squad as well. Like, I think when Spence comes in, he just doesn't offer what Udogie offers. He offers something different, but we need someone who can offer that just relentless ability to get up and down that wing.
Yeah.
No one offers what Romero offers on the ball. Danso is just nowhere near as good. No one really offers what Van de Ven offers when it comes to that pace and that ability to recover. So, we need better. We need better depth.
Yeah, for sure. So that's Destiny Udogie. In terms of a potential transfer rumour, Footy Insider are claiming that Tottenham are leading Chelsea and Manchester United in the race to sign 25-year-old Serbian striker Dusan Vlahovic from Juventus. Paratici's return to North London as sporting director, along with his ties at Juventus, have given Spurs a major advantage when it comes to winning the race for Vlahovic. I mean, I thought his contract was up at the end of the season as well. So unless we're going to try and sign him in January, I don't see how connections with Juventus will help.
You don't see?
No.
Why not Fabio? Why not? Why won't that help?
Because his contract's up at the end of the season.
Yeah, but Don Fabio can always make a deal.
No, I'm saying, of course he can always make a deal. That's of course. But I'm saying, like, you don't need club-to-club relations if his contract's up.
You always helps. I think. Always helps. Look, Dusan. I've said many times, I don't know about him. I don't know whether he's just, he's that great. I don't know if he's fit for the Premier League. He's got a good left foot finish on him, but there's something at the moment that's just gone wrong for him at Juve. Hasn't really gone right for him. So we have 3 strikers here at the moment. I don't know if he's the answer to our striker problems. I do think he probably comes in as the best finisher at the club, though, if he was to sign. But in the Premier League, you need a bit more than that, unfortunately.
Yeah. I like Dusan, and I think, still 25 years of age, good age. Look, we can all say it hasn't gone right for him at Juventus, but he's still scored like a fair amount of goals, which is the honest truth. So I think Juventus as well have been in a pretty bad place over the last couple of years. Constantly changing managers, don't really have a settled team. Are they even in the Champions League this year, or maybe this year they got back into it? I
They're
can't
in
remember.
it this year,
But they've been in and out of the Champions League, is my point, over the last couple of years. So I think he's a good striker, and I think you just need a manager to play to his strength and get the best out of him. I don't know if they're doing that at Juventus. I don't really know how they play or how they set up and if they're doing that or not. I don't see why Frank wouldn't do that. Why wouldn't Frank do that?
I don't know. Is he playing to our strikers' strengths at the moment?
Well, I think Dusan Vlahovic is higher quality than our strikers, in my opinion. I think that, I think Vlahovic is a player that's, I think he's got similar traits to some of the strikers that we have, but I think he's, on top of that, got more traits, and like you say, he's a better finisher than what we have, and I think his potential to be more of a fox in the box and impact the game in that sense, and I think he's probably better in the air with some of the strikers that we have as well. So I just think he's better all round than a Richarlison and a Solanke, and we haven't seen much of Moani yet.
Yeah.
So we don't know about that, but Moani, I think, didn't he displace Vlahovic from the team when he came in last year at Juventus? So we'll have to see. We'll have to wait and see. But I wouldn't mind seeing Vlahovic at Spurs. Obviously, if other strikers get presented to us that could make the transfer to Spurs, I'd be open to it. I'm not saying like I'm desperate to see Vlahovic at Spurs. I just think I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind seeing it. But that's your Tottenham update for today. Let me know in the comment section below. Would you like to see Dusan Vlahovic at Spurs? Let's move on and let's cover the game from yesterday. So, Tottenham 1, Aston Villa 2, another home defeat for Tottenham Hotspur. That's the second of this season, losing to Bournemouth at home and Aston Villa at home. Aston Villa have now beaten us, I think, 3 out of the last 4 home games as well, where they've come here.
Drawing to Wolves, a minute away from losing to Wolves as well.
Yeah, that as well. 3 out of our last 18 games at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, we have failed to win, which is just mind-boggling, to be honest. And it's coming a bit concerning when, look, I've got full faith in Frank, and I think he's a top manager, and I think he will get it right eventually. However, at home, he's consistently getting it wrong. That's the reality where we're at right now. And he keeps persisting with Bentancur and Paulinho in the middle of the park. I think we can all see that that's not the right way to go against, especially a team where you're looking to dominate the possession and progress the ball in the central areas. And I don't understand why he doesn't just try something else at least. Put a Pape Sarr in there, put a Bergvall in there alongside a Paulinho or a Bentancur. I just don't understand why he doesn't do that.
Yeah, it's also the first time, I think, under Frank, we've taken the lead and given it up.
Yeah.
And end up losing or not even winning. I think we've actually been pretty good this season when we've taken the lead and been managing games has been quite encouraging, but it didn't happen yesterday. Look, I just want to caveat this. Unfortunately, I didn't get to watch the full 90 minutes, so I have to go on what I've seen, which is like highlights and stuff and stats. But from what I've seen, we kind of took the lead and we didn't kind of take advantage of that. We didn't manage the game brilliantly. We allowed Villa back into the game. I've seen some of the stats when it comes to Bentancur's like ball progression and his and Paulinho and their lack of ability to play the ball forward. There's an unbelievable picture we'll see in Reacts of Bentancur's passing map throughout this game, and literally it's just side to side, and any pass that went forward was unsuccessful. So there is a big problem there. But then there was any pass forward was unsuccessful, but very little was forward. It was like 1 or 2 passes.
Yeah,
like a lot of the time, it's playing it safe, it's side to side. It's trying to build up through the wings, through the wide areas. But the thing is that an instruction? Because it's now something that continuously happens. If you take a snapshot of the middle, a lot of the time, it's vacated. There's not many players in the middle. We're allowing, it seems as though Villa to dominate in those central areas because we want to get the overloads in the wide areas. And when you're not getting Udogie there, you're having Spence there, so he's less willing to overlap and things like that. It's less and less effective. We did at times get Kudus involved on the right hand side. He was looking dangerous. Odegaard. Actually, for Odegaard, from what I saw, looked quite good. He looked quite sharp. So I think he's getting better and better. But I think Frank has got to take a bit of responsibility for, first of all, the team he's picking and how we're approaching these games. The worrying thing for me is Frank said after the game, it's the team it's the game he expected. It's how he expected it to go. That kind of worries me a bit. Why did you expect it to go like it did, with a lack of, creating chances through the middle?
I would say, like, I thought we started the game obviously we went 1-0 up really early. Unbelievable cross into the box from Kudus, right? Headed down from Palhinha, Bentancur puts us 1-0 up. And I thought we were by far the better team up until Villa scored. And when Villa scored, I think it was against the run of play. And I think we were creating some sort of opportunities and openings. I don't think like it was as bad as how people are making out. And we definitely deserve something from the game. I think we definitely deserve something from the game. And I think a loss didn't show the true reflection of how Spurs played, because I think we were more than good enough for a draw. And like, don't get me wrong, like we should have created more and we should have tested Martinez a lot more. But once Villa scored, it just seemed like we couldn't figure out a way to kind of counteract that, and come the second half, it just seemed to get worse. So I just don't understand where's the response, where's the kind of tactical flexibility that Frank is known for, where's the early changes. I felt like we needed changes a lot earlier than, I think we made one at half time, but even after that, we needed more, and we needed more creativity in the midfield. And Javi Simmons is going missing a little bit in games at the moment, and he seems to be like isolated in the 10, and he's like dropping deep a bit to try and win the ball and to win possession back. But when he gets on the ball, I don't know, he just seems a bit lost at times. I don't really understand what's going on with Javi.
It seems as though we're not finding him. That's my point. We're not playing through the line centrally. We're always going out wide. So he's finding it really hard to impact the game in the areas he wants to, I feel. Again, I didn't watch it for 90 minutes, so I can't really say how many times he did pick up the ball and how at fault he was. But I'm just looking at passing maps and the highlights and stuff, and it seems as though we're not getting him in the positions we want to get him in. And when Bentancur and Palhinha are not looking for him in between the lines.
Whenever Javi, it's true, because whenever Javi picks the ball up, it's always when he's trying to drop deep and get himself some sort of action and get himself on the ball. And what I liked about Javi yesterday was how he did. He wanted to get involved and he wanted to make a challenge, and he was putting himself about a bit to try and win the ball back. But on the ball, he didn't do much. And it's probably a lot to do with what you're saying, is that in the areas in where he's picking up the ball, it's always around the halfway line, in the centre circle, around that area. We need him further up the pitch. We need him on the edge of the box, on the D, around those, so he can thread those balls through.
Mm-hmm. The reality is, at the moment, we're not a threat in open play.
Yeah.
Very little. The goal again came from a set piece. A lot of our good chances, remember Udogie had a good chance which was blocked in the 60-yard box. I think Mwani had one. Those came from long throws. So again, I looked at the stats. Our open play expected goals was 0.16. Villa actually had a higher open play XG than us. Most of our XG came from set plays, 0.59. So we offer very little threat when it comes to open play. That's a big concern, and that has been the case for most of our home games, to be honest. We are struggling to create good quality opportunities, and it means whenever we see a missed chance, Tell missed a big one in the first half. Whenever we miss one of those, it's a big thing because we're not creating a lot. So when we miss one, it becomes like a big moment in the game when really we shouldn't be remembering those bad misses, because we should be able to create a lot more than we are. Yeah, and it's a big problem at the moment, which Frank has yet to sort out.
Yeah, and it seems like he is making the same mistakes at home, kind of the majority of times we played at home this season. I think Wolves, he did the same thing. Now he's done the same thing. Bournemouth, he did the same thing. Like these 3 games, he's made the same mistake each game, and you think like after the first one against Bournemouth, he would learn from it. Wolves didn't. Same thing. You thought against Wolves he would have learned from the 2 mistakes. No. But against Aston Villa, he's made the same mistake. And he needs to sort it out quickly. And I think he will. Like, this home form can't carry on for much longer. Like, we need to turn it around very quickly at home. We really do.
At least against Bournemouth, we were like battered. This game was a bit different. But Agreed. I think the big concern, defensively in this game, I don't have too much of a problem with it.
Vicario was rarely tested.
Yeah, like both goals they scored, we'll get onto them, but Vicario should be doing better with at least one of them. And look, they're both from outside the box. It's not like they were good chances created. So they had one chance, I think, in open play. That was like Marlon played through, and he kind of hit it into the side netting. That's the only real good quality opportunity they had, I feel. So defensively, it wasn't a massive problem, but when you're in the Premier League, these things can happen. You come up against players like teams like Villa who have Rodgers, and they got good attacking players. They can get a goal out of nothing, and you have to be able to respond to that. You've got to make sure you're creating enough chances so that it mitigates if something like that can happen. And we're not doing that at the moment. Yeah,
I mean, look, the defending was good for the most part, but I did think we switched off for both of the goals that we did concede. I know both of them are brilliant strikes, and the first one with Rodgers, I think Javi Simmons I think it ricochets off him and it lands into Morgan Rodgers' feet. But then once Rodgers finds that ball, he's got so much time and space. There's no one rushing out to try and block it or to tackle him. And he takes a shot, and what an unbelievable hit it is from Rodgers. Kind of loops over Vicario, but it's not in the corner or anything like that. I think Vicario... I feel for him because it is a very good strike from Rodgers, don't get me wrong, but I feel like Vicario could have done a little bit better there.
I think he should do a lot better. I know it's a good strike, but I watched it back, and I've watched it a few times, and I noticed something when Rodgers gets the ricochet of Xavi. He then takes a touch to his right-hand side, and when he takes that touch, notice Vicario. If you're looking at Vicario's point of view, Rodgers takes that touch to the left, and then he takes a tiny step, right? And if you notice, if he doesn't take that step, he saves the shot, because Rodgers then has that strike across the face to goal. It dips over Vicario. But if Vicario was just one step to his right, which he just made before Rodgers shot, I think he saves it. And I don't think Vicario had to make that little step to the left. I don't know why he did it. I think it was a bad mistake. I think he's in the wrong position, and that's why he was open to the ball just dipping over him from the right-hand side. And as you say, it's nowhere near the corner, actually. Yes, it's a good strike. I think he would have to palm it away. I don't think he can catch or anything. But I think he takes a little step to his left, and it was a bad positioning move, and he would have easily saved it, I think, actually, if he didn't take that step to the left. So I think he should have saved it. I think if that's Donnarumma in goal, that's a save. If that's Raya in goal, that's a save. I think that's not the first time that he's let in a long-range strike now this season, which he should have saved. And I think for me, it's a good strike, but you should be saving it. So it's not unstoppable.
At what point are we going to talk about Vicario in this? I know we've been having a lot of conversation about him the last couple of weeks, but we've always been of the opinion, he keeps his spot, But I think this is 4 or 5 games in a row now where a goal is his fault. He's at fault for a goal. So at what point do we talk about Kinski coming in? I mean, there was an article on Football London last week saying Kinski's development hasn't gone as planned and he's kind of regressing. Mm-hmm. So this is a problem as well.
Well, if they don't feel like Kinski's up to it, then I don't know what to say, but I would like to see Kinski get an opportunity. Put him in, maybe on Wednesday, maybe at Goodison, see what he's like, because we know he's better on the ball than Vicario. See what his shots, if his shot stopping stands up to scrutiny. I would like to see him get him a go at this point, because Vicario, I think, is letting too many goals in that he should be doing better at. And it's happened for too long. When it first happened against Brighton, I was like, okay, it's one game. But now it's about 4 or 5 games where he's, even a game against Leeds, where he was shaky as well. It's happened too many times now. There's got to be some accountability there, and if he keeps playing and he keeps giving away some of these goals, then he's too comfortable, in my opinion. He needs to know that if he doesn't improve, he's out the team, and there's accountability. The problem with goalkeepers is a very specialised position where you can't just put Kinski in for a game and then take him out. If you're going to give him a run, you have to give him a proper run. Because it's not fair on him to give him a game and then take him out again. You have to give him at least 3-4 games. Keepers need stability. That's when they're at their best. So it's a difficult judgment call to make. But I think we're at a point now where I think Vicario's costing us a bit too much at the moment.
And also, it's even worse when the team aren't creating as much as we should do. Because, you know, one goal can be just so detrimental to us, can't it?
Mm-hmm.
And like I said before, well, like at that time when Vicario makes that mistake, we were on top and we were in the ascendancy. And I think that goal comes against the run of play. And if we go in 1-0 at half time, you never know what can happen in the second half. We might go on and, you know, because there was a chance for us to go 2-0 up and we don't. And it finishes 1-1 at half time. And then we go on and lose the game. So, I mean, every mistake, every goal that we concede seems to be like a crucial goal. Mm-hmm. Because of our lack of chance creation.
Yeah.
And
second goal, I don't know. I wouldn't put it on him, to be fair.
The second goal, again, though, it was the same problem with the defence. I felt like Buendia was just in too much space in the edge of our box. Like, I see Bentancur, he's behind the ball. Like, why is Bentancur not rushing out and trying to block Buendia or put in a challenge or, you know, make himself seen? Like, I get the criticism coming towards Vicario for the first goal. Yeah, I get it. But I don't see enough criticism coming to why Rodgers and why Buendia are in so much space on the edge of our box. And I know both of them are brilliant strikes. And Buendia's, I don't think Vicario could do much. And, you know, on the face of things, you can say, oh, what can you do when a player has so much strike? Well, you can block them and you can try and make it more difficult than what we did.
Mm-hmm. I mean, well, Frank said at the end of the game, you know, if you ask me that they're going to only have 2 shots on target and they're both going to be from those positions, he would take it. So clearly he's not too worried about players taking shots from those kind of distances and expecting it to cost us. But I think they are too passive, to be honest.
He's fully into like the high XG chance. He wants Spurs to create the most high XG chance. Like, he's a massive believer in XG and all that kind of stuff and the data. And both those chances would have been very low XG in terms of what they produce. So that's kind of where he's coming from, isn't he?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So, look, I think they're too passive. I think someone's got to be getting out to them a lot quicker. First of all, I think Rodgers was a bit lucky because he got the ricochet and then all of a sudden it bounced and he took the shot fairly quickly. Buendia, I think, way too much space. Someone's got to get out to him a lot quicker than they did. But it is a great goal. You've got to say, great team goal from Villa. Matt Cash with an unbelievable volleyed pass. McGinn, brilliant control and a brilliant pass into Buendia. And then, so from their point of view, it is a great team goal. But yeah, someone has got to be taking responsibility there. And it seems as though everyone's looking to pawn it off to one another and no one's taking responsibility to charge out him and allowing him to shoot.
What does Sarr, though, have to do to get a start? Like, he started the season so well, didn't he? Then got a knock, came out of the team. And now he just can't get back into the side.
He played against Bodo, wasn't very good, was he?
True, yeah, but I think that's like he was just... that was his first game back from injury. Like, in the Premier League, when he started the season, he was one of our best players. Mm-hmm. Like, I think we should be playing Sarr, if not Sarr, Bergwijn, alongside João Palhinha. Just take Bentancur out for one home game, and I'm telling you, it'll get better. It'll get better, and you'll see us progressing the ball through the middle a bit better.
I don't know. I've got a feeling it's not a personnel thing. I'm starting to get that feeling. It's because when you're looking at how the team is set up, I'm not saying Frank's a bad manager. I'm just saying he's looking for different things. I don't know if he wants to progress the ball centrally. I think Bentancur can do it. We've seen him do it. I don't think it's a thing where he refuse, like he can't, not able to do it. Mm. I'm just wondering if it's instruction. Play it safe, get out wide, and create the overloads out wide.
The thing
Don't
is,
focus on going through centrally.
The thing is, right, at Brentford, we saw what impact his number 10 can have with Mikkel Damsgaard. Like, he was running games like in that number 10 position, and it's not like he was dropping deep and collecting the ball. He was so central on the edge of the box, orchestrating the play. Like, they progressed the ball through the middle at times, but they also used width and attacked in the wide areas.
But what's the difference when he's at Brentford compared to when he's at Tottenham? At Brentford, he's pretty much in very, very few games is he expected to dominate possession. Mm. At Tottenham, you know, it's going to be over half your games, probably more, maybe 60, 70%. You're expected to be the one on the front foot. You're the one that's going to have players behind the ball. So it's very different. So maybe it works at Brentford when it did, But at Tottenham, it's very different expectations, and it's he's got to work out how to, when you're a manager of this kind of team who are expected to be way more on the front foot and need to be better in possession. It's very different, and we've seen in certain games, even maybe it's no surprise, away at Brighton, a game we're not expected to dominate possession. All of a sudden, we see Xavi come alive. But when games where the opposition is sitting back, he's struggling to get involved.
Yeah, it's true.
I think it needs to he needs to sort it out, Frank.
Yeah, you might have a point there, but it feels like when we set up away from home or when we set at home, it's exactly the same setup.
Right, but why do you think it works better away from home?
No, I agree with you.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying you're making a good point.
Yeah.
But when we're at home, we need a more attacking, a more possession thinking setup, and we don't have that.
You know what, we sit here and we accused Arteta of playing with the handbrake on. I think we're doing the same thing. I think he's playing way too pragmatically. I think he's way too worried about at the moment the opposition, and he's planning for it, and he's playing with two defensive mids. He's got to get Bergvall in there for me in these games. Take it to him. Like we've believed that we've got the better team. You're playing at home. Go at these teams, and I think I don't know whether he's creating like a solid base, and he's like kind of building foundations before he really goes at teams. Maybe we'll see that later down the line, but at the moment it's a frustrating watch. And I'm not saying just because now it's bad, I don't think he's a good manager. I'm just saying it's at the moment I'm watching it, and it's especially at home, it's not great. It's not a great watch.
Yeah, no, it's not. But I fully believe in him. I fully believe that he can get it right, and I fully believe that we're still on the right path and are going in the right direction. So, yeah, I mean, I've seen a lot of calls on social media and stuff for Frank out, and I just think it's madness, absolute madness.
I don't think anyone's serious.
Frank is a very good manager, and he'll work it out. And the only thing that just drives me a bit insane is that how he's done the same thing 3 times, and we've seen how 3 times it hasn't worked now. So next home, our next home game is Man United, I think. So he's got to change it up for Man United, and he's got to go with a more attacking setup in midfield and see how that kind of changes things. But in terms of our wingers, we've got Odegaard and Kudus. I think Odegaard, well, basically, Kudus wasn't great. I mean, it wasn't his greatest performance. I don't think he was poor, but he did attempt 6 dribbles on the day and 0 successful. However, I did see a couple of times he did beat his man. I don't know if I don't know why it didn't count on the stats of a successful dribble or whatever. But unbelievable cross for the first goal.
Yep.
With his left peg out on the left wing. I think he put in another ball on the right-hand side, which caused a bit of carnage in the middle of the box. But Villa was so focused on stopping Kudus that I think it left so much space on the other side for Odegaard, and Odegaard kind of had a free roam a little bit on the left-hand side, and I think that's why you saw him grow in influence a little bit.
Yeah, I thought he played quite well. I think, again, he's getting better and better. Had a couple of efforts on goal, which Martinez had to save. I think he's getting more and more involved. So I'm liking his improvement, but yet again, what we always say of Odegaard is he needs to be doing more when he gets to those positions. At the end of the day, as much as I like he's improving and stuff like that, he is starting a winger for Tottenham in the Premier League. So, there's certain expectations that come with that, and what comes with it is you have to be a lot better in the final third. It doesn't mean I don't think he can get there, but right now he's just not there, and that's frustrating. But fair play, he's improving, and I want to see him keep improving. I want him to get to the levels. Kudus was. Again, I think we saw the best and worst of him yesterday. There were some occasions where he was great, but then there was a few where he had lots of time. He got in behind. He had time and space to pick out his man and create a chance, and he was on his right foot, and he fluffed it. And there was even one time he allowed the defenders to get back in on him when he had loads of time in behind to pick someone out. So that is something that I think has always been a bit of a frustration with Kudus, where he can wait too long, he dawdles on the ball a bit, he always likes to dribble and beat his man rather than do the most effective thing, which is get the ball in early. And that, I think, efficiency is something that Kudus really needs to work on.
And the one time he did get the ball in early, we scored a goal.
Yeah.
And it just creates... His cross is so good, man. But look, I think a lot of people were talking about Kudus' performance yesterday, saying how bad it was and it was a disaster. But I don't think it was as bad as what people were saying. Like, I don't think our performances was as bad as maybe people were saying. Kudus was okay yesterday. Like, he just wasn't as good as he has been, you know, because he's been phenomenal in the last couple of games. But this game was obviously a step backwards, but it wasn't a bad performance, I don't think.
No, he still created chances.
Yeah.
And he was still probably our most dangerous avenue of attack. So I wouldn't go on him. I think the problem is we're so reliant on him.
Yeah.
When he doesn't, get a goal or assist, all of a sudden that gets focused on, because if he's not, no one else is.
Yeah, it's so true. But I thought as well, Tell was pretty non-existent. He should be putting the ball in the back of the net, which is really frustrating. We've seen these misses. We saw them against Doncaster as well.
That would have been a Kudus assist, wouldn't it?
Would have been a Kudus assist. So that was really frustrating.
Well, he went through his legs. I don't know how he missed it.
I don't know, man.
Took his arm.
He's got to be doing better. He's got to be doing better. And if he wants to make a starting spot in this team his own, he's got to be putting those chances away. Like we said, Javi, a bit anonymous, not showing much on the ball. Our best player, again, was probably João Palhinha in the middle of the park. Like, the guy is just so good. Like, puts out so much fire in the middle of the park. He's the six that we've been crying out for so long. It's just a shame that he can't progress the ball maybe as much as we'd like. But, like, I think most of our shots came from him on the edge of the box.
And he got an assist for the goal.
Yeah.
He was causing the problems. I think he forced a save out of Martinez in the first half. Another really good showing from him, and he's Mr. Consistent, isn't he?
Yeah, for sure. And, I think most likely going to take up this option to sign him permanently if it keeps going this way. What really annoyed me in the game, you're 2-1 down, Spurs on the attack in the last minute. Pedro Porro has the ball. And in anyone that you want in that position, it's Pedro Porro to slide that ball into, I can't remember who the striker was that was going to be running onto it.
Moani, maybe?
Maybe it was more. I can't remember who it was, but terrible ball, and it goes out for a goal kick, and you're like, oh, this ain't our day, man. Like, if Pedro Porro is playing those kind of passes, you ain't taking anything from the game. Like, what was that from Pedro, man?
And also, I have to say, it's also at home. I would say in all our games that we haven't won at home, each time we've been behind, and I know we did equalise against Wolves, but all 3 games we've looked to have run out of ideas very quickly. And when we've been behind, we don't look like we're going to get back in the game. Luckily against Wolves we did, with a goal out of nothing for Palhinha. But in yesterday and the Bournemouth game, we just did next to nothing to get back in it. Fair enough, like we've done it away from home, but Brighton and Boda, we were down and we came back in it. And we were quite good, I thought, in coming back. But at home, in those games, we've offered little to nothing in those periods.
Yeah. You got to say as well, like, it's so early in Frank's tenure, right? Like, to have, like, major concerns, in my opinion. You look at every club that he started at, he's had really slow starts. And I think he's probably the best start of his career has been at Tottenham in terms of results-wise. So, look, I think there's a lot to look forward to under Frank. There's a lot to look forward to with this team. But I do just feel that we've got a lack of quality in that forward line. I think we've been saying it all season. And I think it's so evident, man. We need more quality.
I think at the moment it's just unfortunate. Moani and Solanke we haven't seen yet properly.
Madison and
Decky. I mean, if all those 4 players were available, I think it'd be a different kettle of fish when it comes to talking about quality.
Yeah. I think really Madison is missed so much in this team. And Decky would add something different as well that we don't have. So, once again, it's that age-old story of Spurs suffering with injuries. But look, Spurs lose the game. We do have Champions League football this week, so time to dust ourselves off, concentrate on that, and hopefully make it, 2 wins and a draw out of our first 3 Champions League games away at Monaco. So that is our match review. Let us know your thoughts on the game in the comment section below. We're going to move on to player ratings, and starting off with Guillermo Vicario. Sim gives him a 4. I gave him a 6. I mean, to be honest, the guy had pretty much nothing to do in the game. Should have done better with the first goal. Couldn't really have done anything with the second goal. Yeah, I just thought it was a quiet day from Vicario.
Yeah, again, I didn't watch the full 90 minutes, so take that into account. But yeah, has to be doing better with that first goal. Has to, in my opinion. I think that goes down to him. I think his positioning's all wrong. I think he has to save. I think most top goalkeepers save that goal. Second goal, I don't really put much blame on him. Good strike from Buendia, but it's not the first time he's been costing us with goals he should be saving. So gave him a 4.
Pedro Porro up next. Sim gives him a 5. I gave him a 6. I mean, he had a good battle on that side, and I think he came out on top more times than not. So it's more to be said than, definitely the game against Bodo a couple of weeks ago where he got completely terrorised. So I thought from a defensive aspect, I thought he did really well. A couple of nice balls in there as well, but that last moment where he's got to be playing the striker through on goal and it goes out for a goal kick, which just frustrated the life out of me. But I think he was okay.
Yeah, I think they just need a bit more quality from him. We know what he's got in his locker. And against a team like Villa where he's going to get a few opportunities to swing the ball in, just didn't see enough quality.
Kevin Danso, 6 all round for Danso, comes in at the last hour for Cuti Romero, who pulled out in the warm-up injured. And I thought he did well, Danso, to be honest. I thought he was dominant in the air. There was one moment where it looked like Marlon was going to be through on goal, and I think Danso had no right to win that ball, and Danso just comes steaming in and wins the ball really well. So he gets a lot of credit for that, because I thought Marlon was going to be through on goal and probably score. But I thought he went about his business pretty well. We just lack a lot, and it's not his fault because it's not his game, but we just lack a lot in terms of ball progression when Danso's there and Romero's not there.
Yeah, and he had a thing for Dinier's ankles in this one, didn't he? Didn't he have two swipes at it? I mean, if you're being very harsh, you could say there were 2 yellow card challenges there. I don't think he got booked for one of them. The other one was in the box. There was no VAR on it. But again, on another day, it wasn't a great challenge for him. So he's got to be careful there. But I think defensively came in, did his job well. But as you say, there's a massive drop-off in quality on the ball. Yeah,
and also actually for the first time, I thought his long throws actually
caused problems.
Caused a lot of problems in this game. Next up, Mickey van der Ven, 7s all round. Had the captain's armband on for us in the absence of Cuti Romero. And I think he played very well. I think we were a strong defensive unit. He was at the heart of things, putting out fires quite a lot of times. I thought, the Villa striker pretty much was getting no spare change out of him. I thought he won that physical battle over him consistently throughout the 90 minutes. So, good performance from Mickey.
Yeah, solid. Didn't make... look, he's so consistent, Mickey van der Ven. I think he's taken his game on another level this season. So, I think when Watkins came on, he gave that back to a bit more of trouble than Marlon. But I think overall he was pretty good.
Jed Spence up next, 6s all round for Jed. Defensively, I think he did really well. In one of the goals, I think, he probably could have done a little bit better in terms of coming inside and helping out the defence to be a bit more aggressive. But, going forward, I think is where we miss Udogie on the left-hand side yesterday, and Spence just didn't do enough. And I think his link-up play and his relationship with Odebear on that side is not really evident.
Yeah, I just think we miss Udogie so much in the box when he's not there. Spence just offers very little going forward. Defensively, solid again, but Buendia's goal obviously down that side, which is a bit of a shame for him. No penitentiary tweets after this game, I don't think, unfortunately for him. Yeah, and I just think Udogie's such a massive miss, and I think it's so clear to see when he's not there in these kind of games how much we need him.
Rodrigo Bentancur, 6s all round. It was a fairly decent display from Bentancur without doing anything spectacular. He did put the ball in the back of the net and scored his first goal of the season, which was, a heavy deflection off... who was it off? I can't remember off the top of my head now.
Is it?
No, it wasn't Konsa. I can't remember anyway.
Kamara?
Kamara, I think it was. But too many sideways passing, not too much ball progression up the pitch. Put himself about in the middle of the park. Helped us keep possession in the middle, but it was always a bit too safe.
Yeah. Look, he got his goal, but I don't know whether it's instruction or whether it's just how he plays, but he is not doing enough in the middle to get that ball forward. And he's playing it way too safe. He needs to be doing more. If he's next to I understand if he's the number 6, and he's next to a Bergwijn and he's playing as safely as he is, okay, I can understand it. But when you're next to a Paulidia, who you know isn't going to be doing that, you need to take responsibility. And look, I don't know if I'm criticising him when he's maybe just following instructions, but I don't like to see, performances like that from him when, we're playing against a good Villa side, but you need to be brave. You have the quality. We know he does. We need to see more from him.
Yeah, for sure. João Palhinha next to him, 7s all round for João. I thought he was our man the match. I thought, he's such a man mountain in the middle of the park for us, just consistently winning the ball back. The amount of slide challenges, his aggressive nature in the middle of the park. It's just beautiful to see because I think we've just been missing a player like him for so long. And it's just a breath of fresh air to see him in there and strutting his stuff. He's just performing so well, so consistent week in, week out. And, he was actually a threat going forward as well. He was one of the only ones willing to take a shot from just outside the box. He was getting forward and causing a problem. So, really good performance from João.
I think it's both credit to João and a massive concern that he was probably our biggest threat going forward. But fair play to him, got an assist, took some pot shots as well, caused some problems. His physicality in the Villa box always causes problems because that's what he offers. But I thought he played really well. I'm not going to be as critical of him as I am Bentancur because we know why he's in the team. That is what he's in the team for, to do that. I feel like if Bentancur is in the team next to a Palhinha, I expect more from him. He's going to be the one given license to play the ball forward and get forward a bit more, and he's not doing it. So fair play to Palhinha, did well, good performance. But yeah, still as well with him, when he's on the ball, I want to see a bit more positivity.
Javi Simons in the 10, Sim gives him a 5, as do I. And it was a frustrating performance because you're always getting excited when he gets on the ball. You're expecting something to happen, and very rarely it is happening. And he's always coming deep in search of the ball because, there's little, next to no kind of gameplay in his area of the pitch, and he's not getting the ball in those areas. So he has to come deep, he has to win the ball back, and then he's kind of like crowded out and there's nothing much he can do. So I do feel for Javi at the moment because I don't think the way we're set up is suited to get the best out of him. And I think that needs to change, and another, maybe a different kind of player like a Sarr or a Bergvall need to come in alongside. Definitely. Or a Gray alongside Palhinha to really unlock Javi Simons in the number 10. But right now, he's dropping deep a bit too much in search for the ball. He's not getting the ball in the better areas. And when he is, he's not doing much. He's a little threat.
Yeah, I see him coming in for quite a lot of criticism online so far. All of a sudden, rival fans are like, oh, is this a flop? No one's talking about all this kind of stuff. And I've seen a lot of Spurs fans saying, oh, he's been very underwhelming. But look, at the end of the day, the guy's 22. He's very new to the club. He's new to the team, new to the league. This can happen. It's going to take a bit of time to adjust. I think even within that, he has shown a lot of bright sparks and some good performances as well. So it's not been all bad. But yes, yesterday was one of the ones where we really struggled to get him involved. And I think it's partly his problem. It's also partly a team problem as well. We're not progressing the ball centrally enough for him. We're not getting him in the right areas. Maybe he needs to be doing more. But I'm seeing people ask him to drop deep a bit more and pick up the ball that way. But I'm looking at certain aspects of the team, and we've already got so many players deep. Like why would adding another one help that? I think that's a problem in itself. So I think we need to find a way to get the most out of him and start getting better performance out of him, getting him playing a bit like Damsgaard was last season in those positions. But at the moment, we're really struggling to get him in and around the box where he's so effective.
Udogie up next. Him gives him a 6. I gave him a 7 out on the left wing. I thought he was causing problems. He saw a lot of the ball, and I think he was a threat. He was a threat. It was a lot of kind of like a lot of bark with no bite, but he did have an effort on goal where he cut inside, and it was like a low drilled kind of half curled effort that Martinez easily gobbled up. But I think he put in a few decent crosses on the day. He was just a threat, and I feel like as much as he still hasn't got a goal contribution this year, I feel like he is getting better game on game. Yeah,
and I think he's getting more confident. I think you can see he's taking more responsibility, more authority. I do think it would have helped if he had a Udogie there on the overlap to create a bit more space for him. But I think by and large, he was actually doing all right. And there was some really good stuff. I remember there was one moment, a very good switch of play from Porro, and he just took it down nonchalantly and took it down and drove forward in the same motion. Brilliant. And I think the guy showed the quality he has, but I think when he gets in those areas where he has to put in a cross, has to take a shot, still lacking that bit of quality, to get those goal contributions, and that efficiency, effectiveness is still missing. But he's getting better. He's still only 20, he's still so young.
Yeah. Mohamed Kudus up next. Him gives him a 6. I gave him a 7 as well. And with Mohamed Kudus, look, I thought he was a threat. I think he's come under a lot of criticism for this game, but I just think it's because he hasn't hit the heights of like 8s or 9s, and that's what he's been getting consistently this season. The stats tell you it was 6 attempted dribbles and 0 completed, which is completely different to what we've seen this season. But brilliant cross that forced the goal that found João Palhinha at the back post. He had another one from the right-hand side, which was causing problems. And, look, the better Kudus gets, the more attention he's going to, take from the opposition. And now you're looking at in this game, they put all their attention onto Kudus, 2 free men on him. And I still thought, he created a few chances and impacted the game in some way. Look, nowhere near as much as he's been doing over the past couple of weeks, but as well, I think because of he's getting so much attention, it does free up the other side of the pitch, and that's where we need the left-hand side to come alive.
Yeah, and Javi as well. We just need the others to be contributing, because we can't just basically keep relying on Kudus to be our only source of creativity. It's not sustainable. Teams are going to work that out. I think even in that context, he still created, and he still did quite well. But there was way too many times where he's got time and space down the right-hand side, put in a cross early. There was men in the box ready and waiting, and he delayed it, and he just didn't get the timing right. And I think that's something he needs to work on, when to release the ball, when to cross the ball, when to dribble. Because I think too often he's always concentrating on getting the ball in and taking his man on, whereas sometimes he's getting it down the line and playing it early is the best way, and sometimes he doesn't see the pass early enough, so it's something he needs to work on.
And last of the starting 11 is Matisse Tell. 5s all round for Matisse. Yeah, I think he was just a bit kind of non-existent, a bit isolated up top. He had that one chance where he's got to be putting that in the back of the net. And when you're set up like we're set up, particularly at home, and chances are kind of like hard to come by, you need to be clinical. And when those chances come to you, you need to put it in the back of the net. And 9 times out of 10, you've got to be putting that in the back of the net. Like that is a proper gilt-edged chance, and it's a big moment for us in the game as well. So very frustrating with Tell. And look, he's got Muani waiting in the wings to start in the number 9, albeit when Muani came on, he also missed a bit of a sitter and fluffed his lines. So we've got Richarlison waiting in the wings as well. He came on and didn't do much. So we're struggling in the number 9 position at the moment.
Yeah, I think it was a tough performance for Tell. Very difficult against Konsa, Pau Torres, 2 very experienced centre-backs at this level. And Tell struggled to get any spare change out of them, to be honest, apart from that one moment, which I think came from a throw which came back out, and he put the ball across the face. He's got to be burying that. I don't know what happened. He takes his eye off the ball, completely misses it, air shot, and he has to be burying it. That would have obviously affected him badly, and he got taken off, hooked after an hour, which I think tells the story of his game.
Yeah. Richarlison came on at half time, I think.
60, wasn't it?
Or 60, sorry. Sim gives him a 5. I gave him a 4. I just don't think he changed much. Didn't change anything. Was running about a bit, but yeah, I can't remember one thing he did positively.
Yeah, and then he moved over to the left, I think, didn't he, when Muani came on. Yeah, I think he has to be doing a lot more, sorry. Yeah, I want to see him doing what he was doing early in the season, when he's really battling with the centre-backs and winning those duels and coming out on top. That seems to have gone recently from him, so he's nowhere near being as involved as he was.
Yeah. Obviously, Muani comes on, which we're all clamouring for, with him returning back from injury. And yeah, he just looked a bit lethargic, didn't he? He was only 10 minutes, but a cross comes... across the goal mouth, and you think, all right, this is the perfect opportunity for Muani to get off the mark, and he just kind of mishits it, doesn't he? It's exactly the same as Tell.
Yeah. Look, to be fair, he's just come back from injury, and he's only, he's probably barely had any time with the team on the training pitch with the players. So give him a bit of grace, but yeah, he looked off it a bit when he came on.
Yeah. And last but not least, Thomas Frank. 5s all round for Frank. And yeah, look, he needs to start learning from his mistakes. He needs to add more ball progressors into the middle of the park, whether it be Sarr, whether it be Bergvall, whether it be Gray. I don't care at this moment in time. Just play someone else. Sorry, that's not Bentancur and Paulinho together. You need to change things quicker when you see things are not working as well. We need to figure out a way how we can get on the ball, dominate possession, and create consistent chances. We can't do that at this moment in time, and it's becoming very frustrating at home to watch. Away from home, I've got no problem with. Away from home, I think we're doing really well, and these are the kind of ways you want to manage away games. But at home, it's been not good enough. We beat Burnley 3-0. Apart from that, every other game's been a real big disappointment.
Yeah.
So he needs to figure out some sort of way to change our kind of fortunes at home. Even the Champions League game against Villarreal weren't good enough. So
yeah. And he's lucky he's not 3 losses with the Wolves game as well.
Yeah.
Very lucky. So I agree. I think he needs to be he has to be approaching games at home differently. Because at the moment it's just not working, his approach. We're way too pragmatic. We're not offering anywhere near as much chances. I think it works away because, you're obviously the home team expecting to come out a bit more. They're at home. They're going to attack a bit more. So the fact that we're having less chances, we're being defensive solid. That's a good thing away from home. But at home, he has to understand you don't want to just be completely open. But we can't keep playing like we are at home and expect the fans to be happy. And it's not working as well. It's not like we're getting results. We should really be sitting here with 1 win and 3 losses. We're lucky for him, it's 1 win, 1 draw, and 2 losses. But at the moment, we're not creating enough at all. Nowhere near enough. We're way too reliant on set pieces. We're not progressing the ball forward enough, quick enough at all. We're not getting our most creative players involved anywhere near enough. And it's almost as if we're behind at all, we have very little answer as well. So, yeah, Frank has got a lot of food for thought when it comes to how we're playing at home.
Absolutely. So those are our player ratings. Let us know in the comment section below. Do you agree, disagree? Put your ratings in the comment section below. We move on to reacts and seeing how the internet did react to the game yesterday. And there was quite a lot of overreactions, as you can imagine, on the internet yesterday. We're actually going to start off looking at our former captain playing for LAFC alongside Sonny at this moment in time.
Just for those of you who are complaining about Vicario playing out the back.
Exactly. Poor Hugo, man. Poor Hugo. So I think this was at 1-0 to LAFC. Is this the World Cup final or is this LAFC? And Lloris tries to play it out the back and gets tackled and it's 1-1. They do end up drawing the game 2-2 and LAFC are in the playoffs, so it didn't really mean much in the grand scheme of things, but yeah.
It could always be worse with a goalkeeper playing from the back.
Exactly. Nathan Clark says, we need to get Javi, this is a quote, we need to get Javi coming deeper to pick up the ball. And then he's pointed out Javi coming deeper to pick up the ball. No,
I think what he's pointing out is people are saying Javi needs to come deeper to pick up the ball, but look at how many players we have deeper. So if Javi came deeper, we wouldn't have anyone up front. You know what I mean? We would have like it's a big problem. Why do we have basically? We have Porro, Dante, Van der Ven, Paulinho. They're all there in the back line. It's crazy. All our midfielders. Like, we need to... Why is no one making those third-man runs?
Yeah.
What's going on? Why are we so deep?
So that's Bentancur. Where's Paulinho? Oh, Paulinho... Where is Paulinho there? Is that Paulinho?
Van der Ven, yeah, Paulinho's there on the right, yeah, next to Porro.
Yeah, I don't get it. Like,
so
just
deep.
push up. Both of them should push up.
Yeah.
Never mind just one of them. Both of them.
And like, if you look at that middle, right? It's Javi up against 6 players.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Crazy.
And everyone wants to criticise him for not making impact. How are you supposed to make an impact like that?
Yeah, like how is he supposed to get involved? Like, why is Bentancur? Why is he not nearer to Spence so he can pick up the ball?
Yeah.
Like, what are they waiting for? What are they doing there? It's a bit crazy.
Yeah.
But I think, is that an instruction or is that, just because they're defensively minded players? I don't know.
Well, the only way we're going to find out if we get more attacking-minded players in the middle of the park. That's the only way we're going to find out. Next up is James Dickinson. Dicko says the mentality of a mid-table manager, and this was Frank's comments after the game, and he says, it was exactly the game I expected it to be against two good teams, very tight. There weren't too many chances. I think overall it could have gone either way. I think 1-1 would have been a fair result. Villa scored 2 goals from outside the box in moments where you wouldn't expect to score goals. Fair play for their moments of quality. We also could have won. We also easily could have won.
A lot of people took issue with some of those comments from Frank, saying wasn't critical enough. He seemed to be pretty happy with the performance.
Yeah, you know what? I think, like, it might be... I know, like, he's usually very honest in the press, but sometimes there's one thing you say in the open to the press and the fans get very angry about it. We don't know what he's saying behind closed doors to the players, is he? I can't believe that he's behind closed doors and he's talking to his players about how happy he was with the performance.
I mean, he said it a few times. He thought it was a good... Like, he did the same thing, like, which he's done before, which is, he, like, went through the performances. He was talking about his the home performances, and he said, you know, Burnley, good win, we won. Bournemouth, very bad. Wolves, good 45, bad second 45. And he said, today, good performance. That's what he said. So he's pretty honest. He's like, you know, I think he's being pretty honest when he says it.
To be fair to him, though, like, I do believe him. I mean, I agree with him that we deserve more out of the game. You know, the first thing I said to you when I saw you after the game was like, we shouldn't have lost that game.
Yeah, but did we deserve to win?
I did think we were the better team. Did we deserve to win? Probably not. I think a draw probably a fair reflection of the game. I agree with what he's saying. The draws were a fair reflection of the game.
Yeah, but is that good enough to be a draw?
No, it's not good enough. We all know yesterday's performance wasn't good enough, but it wasn't as bad as a lot of people are suggesting.
No, it wasn't terrible, but it's just, yeah, our ability on the ball to open teams up and create is frustrating.
Of course. And yeah, look, don't get me wrong. He needs to get better. We need to get better. But it wasn't a disaster class that everyone was saying.
No, it wasn't a disaster class. No.
Spurs watch. This was Romero watching from the bench yesterday. It looks like he could barely watch, to be honest.
Penny for his thoughts. But yeah, at least I don't know. Maybe it means, hopefully it's not so bad. He wasn't getting treatment or anything, which is good. I don't know.
Hope so. But a lot of injured players watched the game on the sidelines.
Depends how bad it is.
Yeah. Jordan says nearly 200 million on Richarlison, Solanke, Odegaard and Tell. Whoever signed off on that deserves a life sentence. When you think about it, it is mad.
Yeah, those 4.
Yeah.
What we could have done maybe with those 200 million. It's fair.
I would swap all 4 for Harry Kane right now.
Well, Kane probably would get, more goal contributions than all of them combined. So.
Yeah. I mean, how many goal contributions since they all joined is even, like, out of those 4 players? Not very many. Like, it's crazy. How have we spent 200 million on those 4 players?
Yeah. It's crazy.
And this is what I'm saying. Like, we've got a clear lack of quality in the forward line. And I know what you're saying. When Solanke comes back and when Maddison and Kulusevski comes back. But if you just want to talk about the front 3, forget the number 10s. Like, left wing, we've got clear quality problems. Like, the only player, I think, of the required ability is Kudus in the front line. I don't think no one else comes close to his kind of ability.
I think, do we have the forward options that we got? When you say required ability, what does that mean? Good enough for what?
Good enough to where we want to be. Like, good enough. I think it could mount a top 4 challenge.
Right.
But it's only because other teams have dropped. Like, I think Chelsea are weaker than what they were last season. But I still think, like, Chelsea in the forward line have got better options than us.
Okay, but top 4 we're talking about.
Yeah, so I think for that top 4 we're fighting with Chelsea, right?
Chelsea. If you say, Chelsea for 4th, probably, or top 5.
I look at Man United. They've got better options in the forward line than us. A lot of teams have better options in the forward line than us. Even teams like Crystal Palace. Like, the quality that we have in the forward line.
I don't know about Palace.
Yeah, I think is Ismaila Sarr could easily see minutes in our team.
What, over
Mateta, not over Kudus, but alongside Kudus. You've got Mateta, who could easily see minutes in our team. You know, they've got players that can get into our team, which should never be the case. Like, I just think like the drop off as well from the forward line to like the top teams in the league is major to us.
I think right now, look, you've got two young players who are work in progress. You've got Javi Simmons in there as well, who I think just needs a bit of time. You've got Kudus, who's good. And the strikers, yeah, I think we haven't seen Solanke and Moani at all this season. So I think we've got good forward players. I think he should be doing better with them.
They're okay. They're not like
in fact,
amazing
when
players.
you look at the data, the forward players are actually majorly outperforming the XG that they've created, which means they're probably scoring a lot more than they should with the chances we've had.
Who is?
Our team.
But which players in general?
We're overperforming our XG as a team.
Which player specifically are you talking about, though?
I don't know.
Who's over? Because
Kudus, I think. Well, not Kudus, because he only got one goal. But I don't know, maybe it's Richarlison. Our forward players haven't scored that many goals. But I'm saying as a team,
Exactly, though.
as a team, we're outperforming our XG by quite a lot.
who's our top goal scorer?
Was it Paulinho?
Exactly. You know what I'm talking about? Our forward player's not doing enough. Our forward player's not good enough. There's a quality issue. Like, if we're going to dip into the market, the players that you want to buy are players in the forward line. And that's the reason of that is because our forward player's not good enough.
I think they're good. They should be doing a lot. I think they're good enough to be doing better than what we have done, what they're doing now, in my opinion.
But if we ever want to,
it's just,
if we want to progress as a football club, we need better players there.
yeah, okay.
That's the reality.
That's fine.
Next up is Pro Tottenham says, what is going on with Thomas and Sarr? Played Burnley, got 90 minutes, 3-0 win. Played Man City, 90 minutes, 2-0 win. Bournemouth, everyone played for, hooked off. West Ham, 90 minutes, got a goal, 3-0 win. Since then, he's basically been banished, and we've been woeful, winning 1 in 4. I mean, he got injured, didn't he? He had that slight knock and came out the team and hasn't been able to get his place back in the Premier League. So I don't know what's going on with him. We need to get him back in the team.
Our form in general hasn't actually been great, has it? I'm trying to think. Because in Premier League, what is it? It's 1 win in 4 in the Prem. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, so that one comes against Leeds.
Yeah, and you add in Champions League. Was that 1 in 5?
So 2 in 5 because we've got Doncaster.
Okay.
Yeah. Since Villarreal, since that win against Villarreal, we've drawn to Brighton, beaten Doncaster, drawn to Wolves, drawn to Bodo, beaten Leeds and lost to Villa. So a lot of draws in there.
Yeah, I mean, he's saying Sarr is leaving Sarr out is like he's trying to draw a correlation. I don't know if I would. I don't think putting Sarr in there solves any issues.
But Sarr had such a brilliant start to the season, and he was a goal threat. He was getting goals as well. Yeah, he was playing in the 10 as well. So I don't know why we don't just play Sarr as a box-to-box, get him as a goal-scoring threat, and because with Sarr's energy.
You're playing, if you're saying, if we play Sarr and Paulinho together, if that's going to solve our ball progression at home yesterday, I just don't know if it will.
But at least, he can carry the ball. Bentancur and Paulinho are not doing that.
Bentancur should be able to do it.
He should be, but he's not.
But I'm saying Sarr also should be.
But Sarr, for me, Sarr's a better ball carrier, and he's a better box-to-box than Bentancur.
Yeah. Look, I don't know. I don't know if he as that swap would change what people think it would change. I think away from home again, he's been great, but at home, I don't know if he's been that.
We'll see. Sarr's going to come into the team, I reckon, for the Monaco game.
Yeah.
Nathan Clark gives us this kind of, it's a passing map?
Yeah, passing network for the game. And look, as you can see, Xavi not getting any passes. Bentancur just side to side. Why is Bentancur deeper than Paulinho?
Yeah, I don't get it.
I don't get it. It's all very odd. Kudus very isolated.
And there's no passes to Xavi.
Yeah, literally. That middle is Terrible. That middle three there. Just all constantly side to side.
Yeah.
No one looking to get Javi involved.
Yeah. 18BK74 says, look at the state of his ankle. No wonder he was mad. So this was Luca Dean going absolutely mad on the sidelines yesterday. I think that might have had a little bit to do with Kevin Danso.
Yeah, I think so. I think Danso was, I think he had 2 swipes at it, didn't he? Or he had 1 swipe at him and 1 swipe at another player.
Yeah.
I mean, another day could have been 2 yellows.
Yeah. No context, Tottenham, another passing map
This
of
is
Bentancur.
So look, this is actually very telling, isn't it? Look at that. So there's literally, I can see 1 pass at that top right that is forward and green.
Yeah. And everything else.
It's
Every
sideways.
forward pass was misplayed.
Red.
Yeah.
Crazy. But there's so few. There's like 3.
Yeah.
4.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I count 5. Yeah, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 forward, 1 successful.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy how few there are, and then it's crazy that how bad he is in it. If that's a fair reflection, but I've seen him pass the ball forward better than that.
Yeah.
But it's just so side to side. It's crazy.
It's too much, man. Like, I don't know what even to say about it anymore. Like, he either needs to come out the team, or Frank needs to give him better instruction. I don't know which one it is. Spurs Web saying Tottenham's attacking the Premier League this season. So goals, 14, we're 4th ranked in the Premier League. XG from open play, we're 12th ranked. Big chances, 15th ranked. Shots, 13th ranked. Shot conversion rate, we're 1st.
So that's the thing, is that like we are actually quite clinical. Well, clearly we're one of the most clinical teams.
Yeah.
But is that?
But I think weren't Brentford one of the most clinical teams last season as well?
Yeah, they were. Because they don't concentrate on creating as many chances as possible.
Just good chances.
Just good chances.
But we haven't even been creating that many good chances.
No.
You say big chances 15th.
Yeah.
So does that tell you that the way that we're playing is not really sustainable
Correct.
right now?
That's what I was saying before the game.
Yeah.
It's not sustainable if we're relying on basically being this super efficient team and just putting away the chances we're getting, because there'll be games like yesterday where we miss chances, and it's almost as if we miss 1 or 2 chances and then we're not going to create any more.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
Yeah, and it needs to be sorted out quickly. But again, like, we're early days, isn't it? It's so early days. Like, it's hard to make any sweeping judgments on this or on that. Like, I believe in the project. I believe we'll get there in the end. It's just what they call teething problems, I think. Pro Tottenham says, these 3 solve a lot of our recent problems. It isn't rocket science. It's clear as the sun in blue sky. I mean, I don't know if Kinski solves all of our problems, because, you know, I know he had a decent end to the season, but we also seen Kinski letting easy goals as well over his time at Spurs. So there's no evidence really to suggest that Kinski's a better shot stopper than Vicario.
You know, I've noticed it happens at I've noticed at every football team. No one's stock in their team is ever at their highest unless they're out of the team. When they're out of the team, then their stock is at the highest. I tell you, the next 3 games we start Kinski, Berg, Varantar, and we don't win, and then everyone's like, oh, put Vicario back in, it'll solve all our problems. Put this guy up in, it'll solve all our problems. Like, I understand we need to make some changes, but to think these guys are going to come and just solve all our problems is ridiculous.
Yeah. And last but not least, DR Sports. What are your thoughts on Javi Stevens' last games for Spurs? Hasn't had an open play goal contribution. I think he's had, 1 from a corner, and that's it. And that was on his debut.
Yeah. To be fair, he actually hasn't started that many games, has he? Started on the weekend, Leeds, and Wolves.
The thing is, though, like, they're so desperate to make Javi a flop just because of what Gyökeres is going through right now. You know what I mean? Like, Gyökeres, 9 games in a club and country, no goal. Like, Gyökeres is supposed to be like some sort of like 45 goal a man player.
You trying to say DR Sports are biased to get biased for Arsenal?
For sure. For sure.
Robbie would not stand for this. Yeah, I just think it's a narrative because big money, everyone was so excited about him, and yes, it hasn't gone. He hasn't hit the ground running. I don't think he's been bad, but he hasn't hit the ground running.
He hasn't been bad, but he hasn't been good either.
No.
He's just been a bit average. That's the problem.
But it's not unexpected.
No. I think we did. Look, let's be real. We did expect more from him.
Well, it's a new league. He's a young
I agree
player.
with you. I'm not saying like there aren't reasons and the reasons aren't good. But when we signed him, you probably would have thought he would have started better than what
I
he
would have
started.
hoped for. I wouldn't have said. Look, I would have hoped he would, but I wouldn't say like this is not like this is like out of the blue. It's taken me by surprise. It hasn't.
Yeah. All right. Well, that is how the internet did react to the game. And I think that is it from us today, people. I want to thank you all for joining us today. We'll see you all tomorrow for Preview Day, Monaco away in the Champions League. Like, subscribe, and comment. And as always, come on, you Spurs.